What up, my channel? Welcome back to another video. I'm Jessie and you're watching Hello cuties, very excited to be bringing y'all a video where I talk about what's going on with Enby Book Club, my non-binary book club, as well as the details, the nitty and the gritty for this year's queer Blackathon. Basically, this video is going to be just a celebration of a bunch of the LGBTQ content and events that are going to be hosted on this channel, so stay tuned. Before we hop into all of the juicy and glorious details about the June event plans, I want to give a big shout out to the sponsor of today's video, which is none other than Maverick. Maverick is an amazing graphic novel publisher. I've worked with them before and I had such an amazing experience both with them and reading their amazing books. They focus on really touching and inclusive YA stories that just need to be in the world. And today I'm going to be talking to y'all about Good Game Well Played. First of all, can we talk about this amazing cover? I mean, just wow. So in this graphic novel, we are following a ragtag group of friends, and it is kind of set in 1999 at an arcade, and I just absolutely love that. I'm a big arcade nerd myself. We fast forward to 2009, where she has moved away and one of her friends passes, and so she has to go back to the town and confront everything that happened way back when. There is a corrupt landlord who is trying to raise prices and get the arcade shut down. It's really cute, it's really sweet. It's about friendship, family, and growing up with all of its pains, trials, tribulations, and joy. So if you want to win this comic book right here, all you have to do is subscribe to the Maverick YouTube channel, which is going to be in the description box below, and comment on this video with the title Good Game Well Played. Maverick's social media links will be in the description box below, along with the link to purchase, and I have a beautiful discount code for y'all. Use the code bowties10 in order to get 10% off any of Maverick's books. I'm gonna leave that video where I go through some of their graphic novels, in that way you can kind of see what my thoughts were on a bunch of their novels before picking out one for yourselves. But I genuinely love this publisher, not just because we're sponsored, but their content, the stories that they put out are important and deserve to be in the world. Thank you again to Maverick for sponsoring this video. Now, without further ado, let's hop into it. Okay, cuties, so first of all, we're going to talk about queer Blackathon, our third queer Blackathon. It started in 2020 to honor Black trans man Tony McDade, who was killed by police in May of 2020. And so on Juneteenth of 2020, I launched Queer Blackathon, where it was a 24-hour readathon where we just read Black queer books and gave spotlight to those books and those authors. And so we are back for round 3, and we have some awesome co-hosts. We have Erica of The Broken Spine, and we have Ashley of Bookish Realm. These two people are so forceful in the book community, and I'm really flattered that they said yes. I'm so excited. Now, there is going to be a change for this year. Queer Blackathon this year is going to run for 48 hours. So of course it starts at midnight on Juneteenth, which is June 19th, and then runs for 2 days, so ends on the 21st. All you have to do for those 48 hours is read Black queer books. Now, you don't have to stay up for 48 hours.
I know damn well I'm not going to be doing that.
And there are some prompts. You can choose to follow these prompts or just say no thank you and just read whatever Black queer books you want. So we have 3 prompts to give to y'all this year. The first is to read a Black trans narrative. The second is to read a Black Caribbean narrative. Now, it's so important to acknowledge that June isn't just Pride Month, but it is also Caribbean Heritage Month. So celebrating Black, queer, Caribbean works is very important. And the third prompt is personally my favorite. That is the Black Joy prompt. Pick a book that it's not about racism, it's not about trauma, it's about Black kids or adults just being happy, getting to have fun, that kind of thing. And those stories matter. They matter so, so deeply. So if you want to join our Twitter, that is Blackathon1. That is where you're going to get updates on reading sprints and live shows and potentially anything that we decide to do for the readathon. The host information is in the description box below as well. Check them out, subscribe to them. You won't regret it. They make really amazing content. There's also a bingo board for those of you who want to do a bingo board, and a highlight on my Instagram, which is bowtiesandbooks, where you can stay up to date on all of this information and get like the graphics and the templates and all of that fun stuff. Very, very excited about that. Now for the Enby book club picks. I am very, very excited about this. So those of you who are new to Enby book club, it is a non-binary book club where we read books exclusively by non-binary, gender non-conforming, gender defiant, spirit self, and two-spirit individuals. Book club has grown so much. It's currently at 10,000 members on Instagram, and it just is so beautiful to see so many of you interested in non-binary narratives. We've also been doing a lot of author events. I just hosted TJ Alexander, who wrote Chef's Kiss, this amazing non-binary cooking romance. We had an amazing interview that is in the description box below. I also had the extreme immense privilege of interviewing Shidan J. Zhao for the release of Zachary Yin and the Dragon Emperor, which was our book club pick for last month. I still haven't found a co-host for the live show yet, which is why that live show hasn't happened. And we have more author interviews scheduled, and I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, we've been doing giveaways. I've been making non-binary reels, advice for Enby folks, that kind of thing. So it really is more than just a book club. It's a safe space. It is a growth space. It is so many things, and it just means a lot to me. So thank you so much for those of y'all who have been participating in it and just making it so special. So let's jump into the picks for June to August. Our June pick is none other than You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty by Akwege Emezi. Akwege Emezi is an Obanje and always asks that people use spirit-affirming terms over flesh terms. They have said that if flesh terms has to be used, you can refer to them as agender, but it is much more appropriate to refer to them as Obanje. And so we are very, very excited to be reading the debut romance of this very, very powerful entity. Now, in You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty, we are following Feyi, who is a Nigerian-American girl grieving the loss of her husband who died in a car accident. And she is an artist living, I believe, in Brooklyn, and she and her queer best friend are kind of just sleeping their way through Brooklyn and having fun and being wild and carefree and sexually empowered. And a love interest of hers invites her to his island, and she goes to the island and meets his father, and sparks fly. Now, the father turns out to be a very famous chef. And so it is a food romance. You know, he's feeding her lavish foods. They're making eyes at each other. It's very messy. It is very, very messy. So there's an age gap. There is a lot of anticipation. There's a big exploration of grief and what it means to be an artist and how it is a lot. I've already read this book and I love it so, so much. It is one of my absolute favorite books of all time.
I mean, all of their books are.
But I am rereading it for the book club, and my beautiful co-host is going to be Erin of Booked and Busy. We are so excited. So we have not yet set the date for the live show, but it will likely be the first week of July. Next up, we have our July book, which is none other than The Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School by Sonora Reyes. I am so excited about this book. I have tried to read it multiple times and something interrupts me every time, so I haven't gotten to it, which is perfect because we're going to read it in June, so it's okay. The audiobook is currently on Scribd, and I have been told
that it is incredible.
So I'm really, really excited to read it via audio. And what this book follows is a girl who is going to a very strict Catholic school, and she finds that she's a girl who likes girls, and so she's at this very strict school and trying to navigate being a girl who likes girls. and things get intense. It's a coming of age, it's Latin, it is all of the things, and we're very, very excited. I've heard nothing but good reviews about this book. Absolutely nothing. And that is going to be our July pick. We don't have a co-host as of yet. Stay tuned for that announcement. Definitely follow Enby Book Club on Instagram. Now, we are going to talk about the August book. And the August book is one that I've already read.
Hell yes, I will be rereading it with y'all because it is that good.
I had to read this book for an experiment video, which I will leave linked down below. This experiment video is the biggest thing I've ever worked on in my 4 years as Bow Ties and Books. It took me, I think it was 6 days of straight editing in order to finish. It's an hour and 15 minutes long. It took me 2 months to film of actively filming. There's 7 books in the experiment, and the video is me reading 7 magical murder mysteries. There's a full-blown skit with my Belgian Malinois Akasha where she has to solve a crime. It's pretty good. I'm very proud of that work, so check it out. And our August book is one of the books that I read in that video, and that book is none other than Burn Down, Rise Up by Vincent Tirado. This is an Afro-Latin YA horror paranormal story that is about a group of teenagers who get sucked into this horror game called the Echo Game. And essentially what happens is you have to say a certain chant and go into the subway at 3 a.m. You have to walk for an hour, and if you turn back before an hour, the game follows you home, and for that hour you are experiencing extreme horror. And of course, in this book, one of the kids turns back and brings the Echo Game home with them. It is so scary. I really want to read it again via audio. I think the audiobook is on Scribd. My friend Julia of Julia Sapphire I believe she's reading it on Scribd right now, and she said the audiobook is really good. And I'm in the process of setting up an interview with the author. We'll definitely be doing a giveaway, so definitely stay tuned on Enby Book Club. And that is going to be this video. Do not forget to enter the giveaway for Good Game Well Played. All of Maverick's information is in the description box below, along with the information that I have spoken about in this video. Join Enby Book Club. It's going to be a fun time. We vote on our book club picks and do fun stuff over there. If you want more content from me, I do have a Patreon where I make content exclusively for my patrons. One of my favorite videos that I've made there is one where I talk about things that I hate about booktube. Lots of steamy content. I also, for my top tier patrons, I give them writing excerpts and quotes and character work and details on my upcoming novel. It's a really, really good time. We also just added reading sprints to our Patreon, so the lowest tier gets 1 sprint a month, and then the top 2 tiers get more than 1 sprint, and it's really, really fun. We do awesome stuff over there. All my social media links are in the description box below if you want to stalk me. Stay safe, be good to yourselves, be good to others, and I hope to see you in my next video.